right, all you crafty people, we are back and we are going to work on our display box. Yes! Okay, first thing that you're going to need to do is 15 to 20 1-inch strips. I did have some extra pieces in my stash, in my extra, you know, my scrap box. I had some 12 by 12 pieces and I cut them down so it's 12 by 1. So I only did 15. I didn't put the double-sided tape on them yet because I like to cut them. So, I mean, because when you're throwing away a couple, 2 or 3 inches on every piece, that adds up to a lot of wasted tape, which is, it's pretty expensive. So I wait till I cut them the size I need them, and then I put the tape on them. So you can do it whichever way you want. Yes, it definitely saves time the other way. You can just snip it and throw the rest away, or save it for a smaller piece, whatever. Anyhow, these pieces that I have left that we were building our books with, I have 3 pieces left. But I was digging around because I knew I needed 4. And I found these 9 by 9 refill pages that I had purchased. They were Bo Bunny binder refill pages. And I'm sure they were on low sell them prices because that's the only time I ever bought them. So I'm going to use these. There's 6 of them. And our highest part of our box is 9, and the widest part is 7 3/4. And these are 9 by 9. Perfect. So I'm going to save the larger ones for something else. I don't know what yet, but we'll figure it out. Not on this project. Something else. Okay. So now I did already go through, I think, maybe I didn't. I had, when I was cutting out for my books, I did have one piece that I was able to cut 3 by 5.5, and that is our front of our box. Okay, so I do have that one cut, and I'm going to go through. Let me just get this opened up. I'm going to go through the measurements with you. Okay, throw all that away. Now, the holes really don't matter. If they bother you, then by all means, don't worry about it. But putting these structure strips are going to cover the majority of the holes. Plus, I've got black paper going over them. Plus, I have decorative paper going over them. So I really don't think that the holes are going to be a big deal. If I can cut them off, I will. I know I'm going to need 4 pieces, so I am going to go ahead and pull. Now these are not as thick, but with all the paper that's going to go on them, I think they'll be fine. They are still sturdy enough. They're just not quite as thick as those larger ones. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut off the tabs on them. Don't need them. So I'm just going to line it up with the edge. And then just, don't have to push hard. Just keep it right against, there we go. Just keep it right against your ruler. Keep your cutter right against your ruler, and that way you will have a clean swipe. This one's a little different because you're not going to have anything to line up at the top end. There we go. You do want to hold it kind of nice and up. That is not lined up. Okay. You do want to hold it nice and tight. The ruler down onto your paper, not your cutter. There we go. And last one. Okay. Let's get on the black. I can see it. I can see it better. Better. Contraia. Nobody has come up with anything on that one. I guess I just don't have a lot of sci-fi fans following me. Those of you who are sci-fi fans, if you ever watched Stargate, I loved it. But if you ever watched Stargate, Contraia was one of them where it was close to the end of the series. I can't remember, but they were captured. Okay, so now they are 9 and 9. All right, so going this way for 2 of them. Hold on, I'll get back to my story in a minute. For 2 of them, I need them, so the height of 9 we're not going to touch. And I need them 7 3/4. So now I'm going to go ahead and get out my cutter for my chipboard and do 7 3/4. So I will be getting rid of the, there we go. And because of the holes, I am going to go ahead and get those out, gone. Now I need 2 of those, remember. So 9 by 7 3/4. 2 of them bad boys. These are the outside, so the left and the right outside pieces. There we go. Actually, I probably could use those. I'll pull those back out. Okay, so we have 2 of our 9 by 7 3/4. We have our 1 3 by 5 1/2. And I need a 5 1/2 by 9. So again, we're going to leave our 9. And we're going to do 5 1/2. All right. There we go. Save that. Always nice having extra chipboard pieces. Okay, so let's start marking these so I don't get them confused. This is 5 1/2 by 9, and this is our back. And we only need 1 of those. All right. And then we have our 7 3/4 by 9. And these are our sides. And we need 2 of those. Okay. And then I'll write this one a little, I was going to cut it. It's not cut to 5 1/2 yet. So let me flip this around and cut this to 5 1/2. Okay, so this is 5 1/2 by 3. This is our front, and we need 1. So there you go. And then we have 1 more, and we are going to cut this at 7 3/4. Yep. There we go. And I'm not going to throw those away. I keep saying I will and I don't. And then 5 1/2. And wait just a sec and I'll write it down. And this will go into my... So this is 7 3/4 by 5 1/2. You need 1, and this is the bottom piece. All right. So there's our pieces for our box. We are done. Well, we're not done with this yet. Okay, on the sides. On the sides, we are going to want... I'm going to go ahead, and this is our front, and I'm going to make a mark right where the front and the sides are going to be meeting, and I'm going to make it on both of them. So line your front piece up and make a mark. Okay? And then I want to go in, let's see how many inches that is. I want to go in 3 inches, so I'm going to make a mark here. And I'm going to make a mark here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to line up where the line meets the edge. We're going to line that up at our cut line. Where the line meets the edge of the chipboard, we're going to line that up. And hold on to it so you don't let it get slippery on you. And there is our side. Okay, now we want to make sure that these are lining up properly, and they are. So we can do this just to make sure. And yeah, they're right there. We want them to be as similar as possible. So, because I was right on it, I'm not going to worry about that too much, but we will double check ourselves here. Yes, so we're good. Again, hold it nice and snug so you don't let it move. And let's just see. Oh, those match up perfectly. Okay, keep those for something. All right, so now we have our 2 sides with our cut in there. We have our bottom, our back, and our front. Okay. Next, we're going to cover all of this in some black paper. And so I have to clean up just a smidge. Oh, I know I'm going to damage all these paper mache birds. Not paper mache birds. Paper clay birds that I made. I know I am. Okay, so I'm going to get my 1/4 inch tape. And I'm going to get... I think 3 papers will do it. So let's put all our pieces to the side for a moment. And I want to line up, I'm going to put it on the white, line my score tape up right on the edge. Okay, there's one. Oh, come on. Remember, don't stretch your score tape. Don't stretch it. Let's do a burnish on here. Okay. Take the first one off. The cover of the first one. Don't know what that was. And I'm just going to lay it on my grid. So I have a bottom line and a side line to go on. And there we go. That one's wonderful. And then same thing with this one. And there we go. All right. Give them a nice burnish. Okay, so let's see. Now we have our back. And we have our sides. Okay, so this will get that part taken care of pretty darn well. All right, and actually we're going to butt these up because when you fold them, yes, I believe we can butt these up. Just a little loose, not snug, 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 but just a little loose. Okay, so that's the first step. So then we're going to need, let me think this through now, because I have my bottom, which these little pieces here, well actually it goes this way, but these little pieces that are here will be able to handle that. If I add one more piece, I will be able to add my front and then wrap everything all around. So let's get one more piece. There we go. One more piece. Put it on the white so I can see what it is I was doing. Alrighty then. So it's a long piece of paper, but you know what? It's okay. We will get through this just fine and dandy. Again, let's line this up. There we go. Okay, so I have 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces together. I'm going to start in the center with my back. I want to leave equal amounts, you know, give or take. Might as well use the whole thing. So I am going to, let's work on the Fabri-Tac here. I am going to okay. So there we go. We're about straight. Now what you can do is get a white background and I line up very nicely. So I did a good job, believe it or not. I did a great job lining this one up. Eyeball! Yes! You know, the more practice you get doing it, the better you get at doing it. So, the old adage, practice makes perfect. Okay, so if I do this and I just fold it like that, it's going to, yeah. So we just want to butt these right up to each other. That's all we want to do is just butt them up. Butt them up, baby. So, and, you know, getting around this corner is not going to be a really hard thing. And these triangles that we cut off will probably come in handy when we're trying to figure out how the paper will go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Now, again, I'm not buttoning it up like tight, but I think I did kind of butt it up a little bit too tight. Let me just, yeah, it's just a little too tight. Come on off of there. There we go. Get some more on here. Okay. You just have to leave however thick your board is. That's all that you have to leave, is just allow that board to have a little bit of space. And I believe that works perfectly. Yep. You can even, when I folded it, I felt this end go just a little bit out. So yeah, it will kind of let you know while it's still wet how much space it needs. Okay. Whoops. Now, we're going to go to this side and do this little fella. getting it done, getting it done. La 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 la. And I'm working on a, for those of you who are in my Facebook group, I am working on a swap, but I want to do a quick tutorial so you know. Let me just see how this is going to be. Oops, that moved it way too far away. Get this down first. Okay, a little closer. That's a little closer. And that's a little closer. Okay, that will probably be just fine. All right, and now I'm going to take my front, and I'm just barely going to have enough room. But I do have all of this over here. So, is it a little better on this side? Yes, it is. So we'll just attach it to this side. Now this piece is a little bit thicker than the other ones because it came from the first. So put it against and then just let it lay down. And that's where it'll be. I like that. That'll work for me. Okay, let's get some glue on this puppy. This is really a very simple way of doing a box. Okay, again, I'm going to lay it here, line it up, and then just let it lay down. And that way, I know it's going to work out just right. Just don't let it move while you're burnishing, because it will, especially with the with our Fabri-Tac. Okay, so now let's flip this over and give everything a quick burnish. Back over, and now we can do some of this ahead of time. We definitely have the bottom here all the way across. All right. And I am going to take my bottom and I'm going to lay it down next to let's see. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think that will just make it way too difficult to, so we are going to leave all this, but we are going to do some little special cuts. And we're going to do some cuts with this as well. I'm just going to use my scissors, or we can even just, let's leave on this side. I think that's 1.5 inches. Okay, so we'll have 1.5 inches there. And here I'm going to go ahead. That's right where that tape is. So I probably will not get that cut. Let's see. There we go. Just a little elbow grease. All right, so there is that piece done pretty easily. Now, this one won't be quite as easy. We will definitely have to use some scissors. I'm going to go ahead and just make a mark. Why not, you know? Just make a mark. And make a mark. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Whatever distance you want to use. Like I said, this is about 1.5 inches. I'm just thinking, you know, it's going to be a nice amount that's covering up things. So we will take it from there. If I find that it's so you want to make sure that you always watch a video first all the way through before you make it, because especially for the designers like myself, where we're making it, we're just flying by the seat of our pants. Now if somebody has got, you know, like all of the measurements, and okay, you need to cut 10 sheets of this and 5 sheets of this, and you know, then you can pretty much cut everything and just put it all together. But I don't do that, and my mind changes from step 1 to step 3, and you know, and I don't know, I just say hang in there. I love, though, that when you guys are working with me, I do love that. So I apologize if I make mistakes. So now, you got to think, this is going to be turned like this. So we're going to do a small V right where all of the little spaces are between the two pieces. Just a small V. Not we're not cutting into the book area at all. Let's go ahead and do this one. And we're not getting really crazy with our angle and taking off a huge amount. Okay. Then on the corners, I just need to make sure I'm keeping you guys in. We're going to do the same thing we always do, where we're going to leave a little bit of paper and we're going to come in at an angle and go out at an angle. Okay. We're going to come in at an angle, leave a good 1/8 of an inch, and come out at an angle. Okay. Now here, we're going to do another, let's see, let's cut, for this one, let's just cut from this, where these two lines meet to where these two chipboard pieces meet. And that should do fine. All right, and then here, this is going to fold. And if you fold it out and then fold this out, you will see a pattern of something that you can cut off. And so this is kind of going to be the same. We're going to come at it at an angle. We're going to leave enough to cover that piece and then come back at an angle. Okay? So that's good. A little triangle here. Again, you know, we don't have to take out very much. Just a little triangle. Yep. There we go. And then this one again, if you're not quite sure how you want to cut it, put it that way and put it that way. And you can see you have a funky looking triangle to cut out. So we're going to kind of come here and come out here. Okay, and then we've got this one and this one. And again, we're going to kind of take out a diamond. Kind of taking out a diamond. And then we've just got this last piece here. And we're just going to do a slight, just what we always do. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now remember, this part is not getting folded up onto this. You know, that's like if we're doing an album. Because we have our other piece right here. Our 7 3/4 by 5.5 piece that is going to go here like this. And then as you fold this up, you'll glue that down. As you fold this up, you'll glue that down. And then that. And we'll bring it up like this. You see? Now I want to give this, excuse me, I want to give this a little test run. So I'm going to hold that. I want to stick my book in here. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Hold on. There we go. There we go. And how is that? How is that? Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's really good. It's going to be very nice. They're not going to be so snug that you're going to have to fight to get them out. Yeah, perfect. All right, guys. So let's do this. Let's do this. So now we've got it all cut the way we want to cut it. So we're going to go ahead we're going to go ahead and glue this piece first. This is our back. So we're going to glue this piece first. We're going to match this up on the bottom of this piece. Make sure the sides are the same. And then just lay it down. And you see it has a nice little even, I believe. If I can get my body over here. Yeah. And then we're just going to let that dry. Now, if you want to use double-sided tape, it will go much quicker. But I'm thinking that the majority of you guys are not going to want to use double-sided tape because it is so pricey to use. So up here, we can go ahead and glue this piece over. Now that I did not cut quite you don't want it getting into our spaces here. There we go. Now that's much better. Much better. There we go. And we can do this piece. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we can go ahead and do this piece. And this piece. Cool beans, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead, make sure we've got it nice and tight. Bring it over. What am I sitting on? Oh, pair of scissors. Make sure this is bending over nicely. And there we go. Okay. All right, I think this one is probably dry enough that we're not going to have a problem. So now we can bring over this side, lay this piece, lay our bottom on the bottom of our side piece. So let's go ahead and put glue down on here on this piece, on our bottom flap of our right side piece. If you're left-handed and want to do the left side piece first, you certainly can. I'm just leaving it because I have my front attached on that side. You may have your front attached on this side, whichever one you may have ended up with having slightly larger piece. Okay, now you want to make sure that you are keeping that on the bottom you want to make sure that you're keeping that on the bottom of your side piece. And again, I have to wait just a smidge because I'm using glue. If you're using the double-sided tape, you'll be done quicker. But I'm showing you that you can do it without all that rigmarole. Okay, and while I'm waiting for that to dry, I want to make sure I am still on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work my corner. Now, let's go ahead and get this piece down because I'm going to have two corners. And if I don't do this piece first, I won't have the second corner. So let's put this piece. Oh, no. No. That piece does not go on here. That piece goes around our front. So we are going to do the best we can on our corner. Okay, so just this side piece. I'm gonna bring that in and bring this around. And most of this is not going to be seen, okay? I'm going to go ahead and push this around the corner while that glue dries. So it'll be taken care of. There we go. Okay, so now we can take glue onto this piece here. This is on the left side piece, bottom. And again, we're going to make sure that our box bottom is on the bottom. give it a sec to get a nice grab hold. And I suppose that we could have gone ahead and done this piece. I think, so I'm doing this piece here. I'm doing this piece here, folding it onto that. Okay, so this piece is going over like this. Make sure your corner got nicely done, and I'm not really liking what that did, so I'm going to come back at it again. There we go. Like I said, just take your time. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Make sure you did get it pulled nice and snug. There we go. Now we have all of the box with all of the pages, the bits and pieces folded in, except for these guys. Now I'm going to fold this one out. Did I just lose? There. Hi, we're back. I'm folding this one out. I'm going to fold this one in, and I'm going to slide it inside the box, and this one will go outside the box, okay? And this piece will go around the bottom, and then this piece will go around the top. Now we could, just because it's probably quicker and easier, to go ahead and put this front piece of the front of the box, the top piece, over onto the chipboard. I hope I am explaining this so that you can understand what I'm talking about. It's really a very easy box to put together. Okay. All right. There's that. So, I'm going to go ahead and put glue on this little tab right here on the outside. Okay, so we're going to bring this to the inside, but we do want to make sure that we bring it all the way where it needs to be. There we go. I believe you want the side front to butt up against this piece, just to make a nice closed piece on your box. And now I can take this and add more glue to it. And bring that around. Okay. Remember, all of this is getting covered, so if you're getting glue on everything like I am, don't worry about it. All right. The secret is that when you're cutting the little V's, just not make them very big. Because you want to actually be covering the entire box. You want to be covering all of the little corners. So if you make those little V's very big, you're going to start finding where you're going to have gaps. So I would say when you go to make this, go step by step. Pause me. Do what I just told you to do wherever it was that I told you to do it. And then go to the next step. And then pause it. So you have me for a long time, just in little increments. All right, there's our bottom. Just ready for a nice black piece to cover that. Here's our sides and our back, and then our insides. There's no place where I have a uncovered corner. There's, you know, so it's all in great shape. Now is where I'm going to use my little pieces of paper here. And I'm going to pull it up just a little bit. And I know I need 2 of these. And I pulled it up just a little bit because if you make it the exact size, then you're always worried about some of it coming up over the top because you didn't do it right. This way, if I push it all the way down to the bottom, which is really the way we're supposed to be doing it, and you're going to be left with about 1/8 of an inch that is, you know, just the black paper. And that's the way we want it. Okay, so there's the 2 sides. I'll go ahead and tell you. They are 1/8 of an inch shorter than 9. So 8 7/8. So that's the first one. 1 inch by 8 7/8. And you see, if each one of them, and that's the longest ones. So if I would have put tape on all of this, I mean, that's 3 inches right there. So it would have been 6 inches of tape. And if you do that 15 times, you're talking, you know, well over a yard of tape that you're just throwing away. I'm just saying. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. So I have it down to the bottom. I'm going to bring it up about 1/8 of an inch. And then cut. And I need 2 of those. And this is 4. That just does not sound right, does it? Yeah, because this is supposed to be 3. I didn't cut it. Okay, so this is 4. This is 4 by 5.5. See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's fine. It's fine that it's 4 inches versus 3 inches. If you've already cut it 3 inches, leave it there. It's fine. Either way, it's whatever you want your front to be. If you want it to be 4 inches, see now that it's 4 inches, I can put a bird on it. The big bird, you know. So, kind of cool. Kind of cool. This one, however, I will probably have to do again because this one has a bend to it. I didn't get them flat. when they were drying. So yeah, so it will work, but it won't work. That one won't. Okay, so then I need 2 of these, which of course I'm getting off of the same piece of paper, so that's nice. So those are the 2 front ones. And then we're going to do all of the bottoms. So I'm going to need one that's a slightly, or 2 that's slightly shorter than 7 3/4. So probably, what's 5/8? 7 5/8. So let's just get 7 5/8. And I'm going to need 2 of those. So there's those. And then that's 5 1/2. So I will get 2 of those off of one of these. I'm going to cut it at 5 3/8. And I'm going to say, excuse me. And then I need 2 of those. Okay. So all these pieces I can put off to the side. We're not done, but that will get us our interior done. So now I'm going to put some tape down on the edges on both sides. So I won't bore you silly. I'm going to go ahead and take a slight break. I'm not breaking. I'm going to do all this, but I'm going to go ahead and run all these, but let me just show you. I'm going to go ahead and do all of them and put them all in, but I'm going to show you how I'm putting them in. I ripped a little piece of the paper off, so I'm just going to get that off there. So you definitely want to make sure that you are burnishing very well. You want these to be on the outside, or the inside, excuse me, and have nothing on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and get both of these off. There we go. And if you are so inclined, you can put just a bit of glue in the corner. So these go right in the front, and I'll show you in just a minute. You want to pinch it and push it down into the corner, and then burnish well. Now, oops, you can see that it doesn't go all the way to the end on either side. But when I put this, no, that's not it. I've got them all miscombobulated now. When I put this one in, it's going to cover. So I usually do my shorter sides first and then the longer sides second. That way the majority of things, which are the longer sides, look nice, okay? And then once I get the bottom done, then I will start coming up this way. So I will then get these two done, these two inside corners, and then I will do these two outside corners. And so that's it. I mean, it's basically go from the bottom up and do the shortest things first and the longest things second. And as long as you, and if you screw it up and do the long sides first and then the short side, as long as you're doing both the long sides and then both the short sides so it looks even. If not, you know, once you get your paper in there, nobody's really going to be going, let me see that corner. And I keep unwinding my tape here. So that's how it's going to go, guys. So I will put another one down here. This will go into the back. That one off. Try and keep your fingers off of the tape. I mean, it's hard, but try. Or make sure your fingers are somewhat clean so that you're not putting oils and stuff on it, because, you know, that will just take the sticky off. And just put yourself some of the glue. Now, pinch it closed. See, pinch it closed. Get it right down in the bottom and center it best you can. And then work on getting your fingers unstuck. Run your fingernail down in there so that it gets into that crevice. And then there you go. Okay? And then we're going to do the two sides on this side here and there. That's next. All right, guys, I'm going to get these all set, all ready for me to go and get them put on. And oh my gosh, you know, then we can decorate. But look, isn't that lovely? Look at that. We can decorate the tops of these. You can see the sides. I mean, they're not full right now, so they're just going to collapse. But how awesome is that? I love it. And I might even put on some nice decorative legs. I might even do that. I think that would be fun. I'll have to dig around and see what I've got. Okay, guys. Ooh, I'm so excited. So there's our basic box build. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time because I am probably going to go to bed now. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye. Let's see. You first. And you.